a classical education. Then he decided to move down to the United States, where he pursued many different jobs. At first he was a farmer, then he became a teacher, and then he settled on becoming a Presbyterian minister. During all these career changes, he actually acquired 15 enslaved individuals. Through those means was through purchase and also through inheritance as well. And at his final career choice as a minister, he wrote in his journal that he begins believing that he has enough power and money to make the change that he's always wanted to see in the world. And so he decides to come down into Canada, and as we know it, into Buxton to purchase land. He actually purchased 9,000 acres of land here in 1849. How much he purchased it for was for $4,000. It was incredibly cheap. Don't even get me started. If you're wondering what that inflation is today, it's actually around $160,000. So even in today's standard, it was incredibly cheap. One of the biggest reasons is because this land did not look the way it did today. It was heavily forested, swampy. No one thought you could grow crops and have a successful agricultural life here. And so when the settlers came here, it was a lot of work for them to clear this land and get it ready. And so when William King purchased all that land, he created a rule set. He was only going to sell it to black individuals. It would be sold at $2.50 an acre, and they would be given 50-acre plots. They would be given 10 years to pay it off at a 6% interest. And as the years went on, the settlements here in Buxton became one of the largest and most successful black settlements in all of Canada. And as you guys go on throughout that tour today, you guys are going to learn more about that. And I know we usually do the introduction about in front of the Buxton Liberty Bell, so I just want to give you guys a brief history overview of that, since I won't be able to kind of bring you over there. And so you guys probably noticed that big bell in front of the museum. It's a replica of what's known as the Buxton Liberty Bell. The original was donated to the community in 1850 by the black community that was living in Pittsburgh. They heard about all the great things that was happening here, and they piled their money together and had that bell made and sent down to the community. And so what the settlers actually used that bell for at first was to actually announce the arrival of each new person that was coming here. And in many cases, it was a very emotional thing. But in many cases, it was announcing their freedom stepping here in the community. And as the years went on, that bell would be used for church and school as well. So it's really incredible. Today, you guys are going to have some free time to kind of explore around a little bit. Usually when you guys come down, you're even welcome to go into the cabin. So the cabin's under restoration, but I wanted to talk about it because when the settlers ring that bell, and I was telling you guys about how it was announcing their arrival here to the community, what in many cases would happen is the entire community would hear that bell. It'd be a celebration. People would come together to greet that person. Time permitted, they would even help them find a plot of land that day and help them build their cabin. It's been documented to be done within 24 hours. Wow. Yes. And so that cabin that you guys see, again, you guys are not allowed to go under, it's under construction, but that cabin was built in 1852. It's the oldest standing cabin here in the Buxton settlement, and it's a great representation of the rules and regulations the settlers had to follow when they came here. They weren't able to build any cabin. They had to be at least 18 by 24 by 12, 33 feet from the road. You need to have a picket fence surrounding your cabin with a vegetable garden, and you need to have at least 4 rooms on the inside. If you guys are curious about those rules, we can talk 101. I can kind of dive into it. I'm just going to ramble forever if I keep going. So, you'll also notice the A.D. Shad Barn. So that's something you're more than welcome to go to. That is the first black man in Canada to be elected to a political office. He moved here in Buxton in 1853, and that was his barn. It was made around 1853 to 1855. His daughter is Mary Ann Shad Carey. Have you guys ever heard of her? Okay, if you guys have not, make sure you Google her after this. Mary Ann Shad Carey was the first black woman in North America to own her own printing press company. It was called Provincial Freeman. It was printed in Toronto, Chatham, and Windsor. She was also the second black woman in the United States to earn her law degree from Howard University. She did incredible work. I highly recommend you guys diving into her. I could go on forever about it, but I'll end on this. A.D. Shad and Mary Ann, they're the first father-daughter duo to be on the Canada Post stamp. That's not part of the royal family. So it's very cool, I find. That will be my little summary that I've given you guys today. I know we're going into the schoolhouse, but I'm going to be talking about the education in there, so I wanted to say that. If you guys have any questions at all throughout the day, ask me or any of the summer students, okay? Awesome. So I think one of the group I'm taking, but one of the groups is coming with me to the schoolhouse.
You have 7.
Tubman?